I didn't make it on yesterday. I did have to work. Let's get our chat filter figured out. There we go. And let's see. Who are we going to color today? I might do the cover page just because I think I have much better ways to do that than what they have. I don't think they gave them no other color than face and mouse, which is kind of dull, but let's see. Think around here. That one's still definitely on my to-do list. So I think we did a clown the other day. Oof, he's creepy. I still say that one looks like a book cover, but you know. Let's see. I like her. She's a very good possibility. Good afternoon. Welcome in. Happened to pop up as I was looking up. Yeah, I think we're going to do this guy just because. Let's see. Oops, pardon me as I send my pencils flying across the room. I think this guy's a possibility. Just want to see. I think that might be a little too orangey for me. There we go. I know we did a clown on Monday, but I have been putting this guy off, and I don't know why. Because I do want him to be much cooler than the cover page. Hello, Dennis. I'm not sure which one we were talking about, but I leaned. There's quite a few that we will hit. If we have to extend spooky season throughout, just a little bit into November, so be it. I don't start Christmas stuff. Yes, it is. And if you like it and you want it, there is a link to it on my community page. Let's see if this makes a difference in the lighting issue. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Hello, Grant. There we go. Why I'm having my fan on? Well, it's not a sketchbook. It is a coloring book. But flies are just part of life in this area. They will be dying off soon, though. That just goes with... That's just part of life when you live kind of the southern edge of the Midwest. Until it gets too cold for them to survive, they just show up everywhere. It's just part of life. There we go. Yeah, we don't fuss too much. Unless it's something that stings, then I'll kind of fuss and try and get rid of it. I don't harm things. I will escort them out of my house, though. Flies just kind of happen. go. We're starting to get kind of to where I want him to start out. No, my lighting is still going to be ridiculous. Okay. That's just how it goes. Now, let's have a little fun with this guy, huh? I did orange hair on the last one. And I think we're going to do blue for this guy. Or we could do violet. That could be interesting. But I don't think that's the vibe I want to go for. Could do a shiny blue. Because why not? I want to keep the creepy vibe without missing actually adding color to the picture. It's so easy to just color one or two pieces. Hello, Ashton. I am doing well. How about you? I think somehow the wild blue hair will be a lot of fun. It has been a little bit of a bonkers week. I only usually work weekends. I did agree to work a full shift yesterday, which is why I wasn't able to pop on. I worked from here. I worked from like 9 to 5:30, which is totally opposite of what I normally work. I am a weekend evenings person. If you hear odd noises in the background, my friend who's staying with me is puttering around. We don't really do the everybody must be silent because I'm live thing. Doesn't work much. It's unfair to thank you, Ashton, but this is not my art. This is a book. I did pick this up specifically for my lives, for one of my favorite seasons, which, for lack of a better term, I've just been using spooky season. Because there are people who don't do Halloween, don't understand why. It is one of the most fun holidays, but to each their own. And we've been doing a page a day. There we go. Whenever I'm able to go live. My hand is going numb from the same movement all this time. But we're almost done with that part, so it works. We are not fussing about perfection because I don't think he's worried about having perfect hair. But I definitely like that. We're going to take a very different blue and do his collar. I think we'll do every other collar. I don't know if we'll do silver on the last two or if we'll do something different. I'm kind of leaning towards silver because I can. And somehow I just feel like a little bit of added color somehow or another makes them creepier. There we go. My dog has decided to get annoyed that I am not paying attention to him. He does that sometimes. He does not realize that he is about 115-pound Mastiff mix and cannot sit in my lap. At least not when I'm trying to do something like this. Okay. My live stream is trying to convince me to put a Q&A thing up. I am not ready for that just yet. Not while I'm trying to focus on the picture and just glancing up at the chat occasionally. Which, if it takes me a minute to answer, that is exactly why. I am trying to do this a little bit more consistently because clothing doesn't usually have the inconsistency that hair does. But I'm definitely liking this. Oh wait, nope, I still need that. Now these are, I'm fairly certain, AI created. The book does not acknowledge any artists. It just literally says on it, it's, let's see, I think it's on the back. Nope, I guess it's just in the description that it was created for Amazon. And that's it. That's all it says about the book itself. Which, stuff like this, I don't mind AI art. I don't like when people try to pass it off as, like, their own artwork. Because I feel like that's unfair to people who really put the work in. This isn't something that I'm ever planning to give away, sell, or use in any way other than entertainment purposes, so that's okay. And I definitely don't claim it as my own. Now, my yard art pieces, my cartoon furniture that I've done, my statues, the work I do on them I will claim 100%. Because, you know, I did the work. I am really liking that blue. I think we are going to continue it down this way. I don't know what color the rest of it's going to be. But I'll make him at least match his collar a little bit, right? There we go. So I will just have to be one live short this week. Since I did work tomorrow, I've only got today and I worked yesterday, not tomorrow. I've only got today and tomorrow to do. But it happens. We're not going to stress over it. I did volunteer to cover that shift because people needed the time, and honestly, what's wrong with taking an extra day's pay, right? Seeing as I am not currently monetized. And even when you do monetize, it takes a while before you're making enough to not need to work. That would be awesome. I would love to not need to work, but we're not holding our breath. Most of the people making like that kind of money off of this are not doing art or things like that. It's a lot of the gamers, a lot of the like cars and things like that. But I still get to come on and color as just a daily part of my life, which honestly, I'm not going to complain about that. There we go. So I'm going to take that silver and hit this part that looks almost metallic. can't see the other side. And I think we're going to add something very random in for the other color on his shirt, if I can find it, or decide what I want to do. I think this dark purple will do just fine, just to add an extra color in. There's quite the difference between my book and my coffee cup, and I'm okay with that. I don't have a really good Halloween type coffee cup at the moment. I need to find one, or as many as I can get my hands on, if we're going to be real honest. Let's see. Do we want to make his eyes red or a creepy green? While I'm chewing on that, first I'm going to sharpen my black pencil. Or one of my black pencils. Apparently I have multiple right up. Pardon me as my picture runs away. It happens. We don't fuss over it. I could have probably just used that black, but eh. I wanted a little bit sharper of a point for this. I think what we're going to do. I thought about just blacking them out completely. I think we're not going to do that, though. We're going to make them a little bit more noticeable. And then I think we're going to go green. Because I have some really, really good, like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. I don't feel like fighting with that one. It feels like breaking. So, other handy-dandy black pencil. But slightly sharper. And while we've got the black in hand, I'm going to line out his eyes a little harder. Because we can. Just makes them pop a little bit harder. Eyes have never been my strong suit, but I'm not terrible at them either. I can do this on a drawing, but don't ask me to do it on my face for any length of time. Definitely not a strong suit of mine. And let's see. I'm debating between two colors. I'm trying to remember what this one comes out like. I think we have our winner. It's just a very creepy brownish green shade. Yeah, I like that. I don't know why it's not showing great in the light for you guys, but definitely just upped his creepy factor a little bit. Now, gold. And this is one thing I will believe in always. If you want the dramatic effect, look for pre-shaded books or art. If you look for the pre-shaded or grayscale art, it's a lot easier to color and get the effects you want because the shading is already there. You don't have to fuss with it. It's just already there. So you can use bright colors and still get that dark feeling, which is something I absolutely love. And if you've been coming around for a little while, I have a few different grayscale books that I like to do from. I personally couldn't do any kind of drawing art to save my life, but if there's an artist to give credit to, I will absolutely do so. This one, as I said, I'm fairly certain is AI. I think I'm going to use my other oddball green for this. I kind of love the fact that it looks like a bird in there, seeing as I have 4 of them. But I want kind of a menacing green cast coming out of this. Almost like it's lighted. Or glowing. That's the goal for that. We want it to look like it's not an ice thing. And this pencil is also why I never assume anything on the color, because this color looks nothing like either of these colors. But I like this green for the reason that it is so bright, and yet such an oddly eerie color that it does really well for this sort of thing. Now, because he doesn't look like he would be very bright skin toned, we're going to use, they call it wheat, but it's just barely a color. Even from my side of the camera, you really have to look to see any real color to it. But it does add just a little bit of a yellowish cast, which I like. We don't want to use a skin tone. We're going to go very lightly on the face, because we want that almost more white than anything. I just want to add a little bit of a pallor to him. Like maybe his white paint has worn off just a hint. Let's see. Pardon me as I stop for a second, trying to figure out what in the world that is supposed to be. It's kind of hard to say, which makes it very hard to decide what color it should be. I just realized I forgot to turn off my I turn on my Do Not Disturb, which I don't normally do. That helps just a bit. Remembered that I do have markers to kind of add a little bit more detail to some of this. I should have probably grabbed the lighter colored one. I don't really love the orangey tone that that first one had. Yes, this one's not much better, but it's a little bit. It would help if... Ooh, sorry, guys. I'll just knock you over. No biggie. Yeah. I'm not doing the whole thing like this. Just a little bit. Just for the sake of making it stand out just a touch more. And because I can, and I like adding sparkly things to pictures that are not supposed to be sparkly. It's a personal choice. Let me see if I have a green on hand. I do. Because I feel like his eyes could be more. It's going to change the color a bit, but that's okay. Oh, that's better. Because now it'll be light responsive. Well, he just got a little creepier, didn't he? I do also have a black just to give him his pupils back. That's a little better. I'm totally not killing time because I'm not 100% certain what color to make the buildings behind him. Well, that's boring. I don't think I like that. We don't want them to stand out too much, but we don't want them completely gray because that is just kind of boring. But we do want to stay a little bit dark with it. And this is background. I'm not making a crazy attempt to keep it perfection. Just a little suggestion of added color behind him. We have almost reached my goal time. I always try to go at least 30 minutes. Anything past that, I'm thrilled, but it's not a must-do. I think it's only fair to do it 30 minutes, though. And I'm going to pretend like I don't notice the fact that there's some weird stuff going on over here. I don't know what they're supposed to be. They don't really resemble anything, so we're just going to pretend they don't exist. It's a very mature approach to things. But we're getting it done. We're almost done with it completely. I do want to add just a little tiny hint of like a dark blue behind him. Just to kind of give it a little bit more substance. Okay, how many black pencils do I actually have? I don't use them all that much, so I never really noticed that I have like half a dozen of them. I am looking for something specific, I promise. I think that'll work. It's actually a gray, but I don't know. I don't think he's coming out on sunny days. What do you guys think? I think he's more of a night person than a day person anyway. If it's not night and he wants it to be, looks like he would probably make it be night. Please pardon my birds having opinions. They've been in a mood today, so they've been noisy. It's just kind of part of life with a bird. But I think we're done. I think I'm pretty happy with how he's turned out. I will come back on tomorrow and do probably... I've been kind of looking for an excuse to do this one. I think she's going to be next. But until then, I'm pretty happy with how this guy came out. And I will talk to you guys next time.